Welcome back to another episode of Smokin with Scotty, brought to you today by Burly Meats. I am continually impressed with the quality of meat that we receive from Burly Meats. They do an amazing job. They have tons of different cuts, and if they don't have the cut that you're wanting, all you got to do is talk to Jen and the crew. They'll get cut exactly what you want. So if you're trying to do a special project, definitely head into Burly Meats. Today, we're going to do oxtails. Yeah, I know. It's not a cut of meat that you generally hear about, but there is some goodness inside there. There's a lot of fat. There's a lot of that tissue that's going to render all that flavor out for us. We're going to have to get it hot. We're going to have to get some color on it. Then we're going to have to break it down. So we're going to do a couple of different things to it to make sure we get there. But first thing we got to do, we got to get seasoned. So we're going to go back with the Holy Gospel from Meat Church, and we're just going to get these all seasoned up. We're going to cover all the sides. Make sure we get every little bit, because that's going to help us develop that color and some of that flavor that we're after. So we're going to go on fairly heavy, and then on the other side, and just kind of all the sides around, and then we're going to put those up on the smoker. When we get out to the smoker, we'll start talking about times and temps that we're going to use and kind of the method. We're going to be putting these in a braise at the end of this, so that we can get all the connective tissue broken down and give us that nice rendered meat that we want. But first things first, get them all seasoned up. All right. And these are going to be absolutely wonderful. You know, and it's one of the cuts of meat that generally, it's kind of a throwaway cut sometimes. So using stuff like this really helps you get the most out of your smoker. And say you have a cow butchered or something like that, and you want to make sure that you use all of the meat. Oxtails are a great way to really get a lot of flavor and deliciousness. So we're going to even make our own special sauce this go around. This is going to be a lot of fun. So there we go. We've got all of our oxtails seasoned up. And of course, with oxtails or any kind of meat, you're going to want to let that meat set with the seasoning on, so it starts to penetrate inside and gets to where we'll get that nice bark with that salt bringing the moisture out. So we'll see you back out at the smoker. And here we are. We're at the Green Mountain Daniel Boone grill that we got from Nature Nursery and Market. Just topped it off with some of the Texas blend pellets. And I love the thing with a Green Mountain grill that you can actually see your pellet level without actually having to open the dill and look in. So that's very, very convenient. One of the better features that I like about the Green Mountain grill. So we've got our oxtails that have been seasoned, been about a half hour. We've got our pit up to temp. We're going to be cooking at 275 degrees today. We're going to get some smoke in them. We're going to cause that bark to get really good and cooked on there. And then we're going to be going into the braise. And then when we get to that point, I'll explain from there. So here we go. Oxtails going on. You can hear my dog in the background. So there we go. We're going to come back and check these here in about an hour and a half, see what kind of color we've got on them, and then we'll go from there. Okay, so here we are. It's been about an hour and a half. We're going to check our oxtails and see how they look and see if they got the color on them that we want. I think we're going to let them go probably about another 45 minutes, and then we'll come back here and then we'll get them in the braise. So we'll talk to you in just a few. So I went back and checked the oxtails at about a half hour, and what we ended up with is we have got the perfect color. We are ready to go, so we're going to get our braise set up. Here's what I've done. First thing I did, I preheated my Dutch oven in my oven, so let's get that out. All right. So we're going to lift this off, and I'm just going to set this right over here. And we are going to start. We've got some onions we're going to put in there. Got some carrots and celery. That's all going to go in there too. take a quick spoonful of tomato paste. Nice good spoonful. That's going to go in there. And we're going to add about 1.5 cups, 2 cups of red wine. Some beef stock. We're going to go about 1.5 cups to 2 cups of that as well. That's going to be our braising liquid. And really quickly, I'm just going to kind of start to break that up a little bit so it distributes into the liquid really well. Give it a little bit of a stir. All right. And with our tongs, because these things are hot, you can see we got a right color. We're just going to set these right down here. Things are starting to get a little bit crowded in there, but that's okay. Just make sure we've got them down on the veggies. Okay, there we go. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take this, I'm going to put the lid on it. We're going to put it back on the smoker. It's going to go on the smoker at 275 still again. We're going to cook it with the lid on. We're going to check it in about an hour. What we're trying to do is to get all that to render out, all those connective tissues to break down so it's just nice and tender and juicy. So we'll check back in just a little bit. So it's been about 3 hours since we put our oxtails into the braising liquid. I pulled them out, I've tested them for tenderness, we're ready to go. So what we're going to do, we're going to put these up on a bed of rice, and then I took the juice that we use for the braising liquid, that's going to be our sauce over the top. So here we go. I just want to put them on, and then we're going to spoon all that stuff right over the top of them. All right, a couple of them in there, just like that. And I guess we'll save that one for a little bit later. Just go ahead and spoon that juice right over the top of those. What I did, I took the Dutch oven and I strained all the liquid out, got all the veg and stuff out so that it was good to go. And I am about ready to taste this. It smells so good. I wish you could really smell all this, but it's pretty epic. All right, so here we go. I'm just gonna kind of dig right in here. Grab one of these little chunks. See how that's just kind of pulling apart there? Yep. And so we're going to go ahead and give her the taste. That's absolutely good. Get a little bit of that rice with it. The richness of the meat is amazing. All that connective tissue broke down. It's nice and tender. Got some good flavor from the bark that we got from that meat church rub. I actually put a little bit of that meat church rub in my rice when I was cooking it. Kind of amp that up just a little bit. Highly recommend you try this. Oxtails, so delicious. Burly Meats has got them. Just go in and tell them you need the oxtails. They got them already cut up in the case, ready to go. And if you haven't tried oxtails yet, do it. Thank you very much. And that's another episode of Smokin' with Scotty.